Nathan Cox, thanks for joining us around the home. Okay, this is our first use of the Kreg pocket hole jig 720 Pro, okay? And it's gonna be basically the same if you had the 720, you just don't have the little wings right here, okay? That's the biggest difference there. All right, so for the sake of the video, here is the dust extractor, which I would probably normally use, but it's gonna block my view a little bit. So I'll just leave this off, okay? But you can see it's pretty easy to use. I've got these 1x3 boards of poplar, which come off a cabinet door that I tried to build using tongue and groove, see, on my table saw, and I failed. It was close, but I didn't get it quite square enough, and so the one that is glued together that I clamped and glued did not sit real straight, okay? So, pocket hole, that's what I'm gonna do. Should be easier, quicker for me to do, and when I get ready to try to build a small cabinet, I'll be able to do the face of the cabinet this way too. All right? Since I know I have this groove here, I have to pretend like this board is actually a skinnier board. If it was like the regular 1x3, which is, for those of you who aren't 100% familiar with it, this would be an actual, as a 1x3, an actual be 3/4 by 2.5, okay? That's the actual dimensions. But I gotta pretend like it's a bit smaller than that. So I'm gonna use these two drill points here instead of the two outer ones. And I'll line it up for that. I've already got the tension set. This holds pretty good and tight. And since this is a softer wood, I'm gonna stay on the light side of half. I don't think it's gonna need anything tighter than that. Make sure it's down square. Lock it in, it locks in really good. Now, let's take care of our drill bit. I know that this is 3/4 inch thickness board, but if you're not really familiar with it, they made a quick guide on the little Allen tool here for the collar for your drill bit. If you just put it over the edge and see it sits right there in the middle of 3/4, if it's anywhere within that 3/4 range in here, then that's what we're gonna set for the collar on our drill bit, okay? So it's got a little window here, and then you got 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1.5 inches. So we're just gonna, all right, I need to loosen up that Allen a little bit. There we go. And we're gonna put it right over that window for 3/4. Kind of snug it up like that. Flip over so I can get a little more torque. And just, we're not going crazy. We just don't want it to slide, okay? 3/4 right there. So that's gonna go right down in there and drill our hole. And right down there and drill our hole, okay? And then we have our number 2 square drive bits there. Since this isn't very deep, I guess I'll use the shorter one for now. Put that in the impact. Put the drill into the drill. Okay. And I guess it's all, we're all ready. Since this is already clamped down tight, let's just kind of start it down there, so I don't want to get it all started all crooked. So we'll set it down there. It's probably best just to set it down and lift it up just a little bit from there. Well, it's smooth and very easy to do. So we'll get our slid down there, it touches, back it up a little bit. All right, let's take a look. This is honestly my first time using a pocket hole jig, period. So, I mean, even though I do a lot of different home repairs and building things and stuff like that, this is the first time use of any tool like this. And that was super easy, okay? So we've got, let me show you up close. We've got these nice little, we've got these nice little pocket grooves here. If you can see all the way down in there, there's the pre-drill for the screw, and it doesn't quite poke through, but I'm sure it's almost there. Before I forget, there'll be Amazon links in the description down below for all the stuff we're using here today. Not only so that you can get the same stuff that we're using here in this video, but also help support the channel. So please use those links up. And we are going to need a few extra things. Now this is really cool, but this is for a future video. This is a concealed hinge jig, okay? For those hidden hinges, you know, for our cabinet doors, which this is gonna end up becoming. I'll have a video eventually for that. I got some more screws, but I did get a starter kit of screws with this. And I got some paint grade wood plugs, which we'll kind of play with that here in a minute to finish this off. And then, which I think is what I'll need, is a couple of the Kreg's, I got face clamps. And these are more basic face clamps. These aren't the automatic locking ones, but it'll hold it tight. So when I screw it together, it'll be held tight, okay? This clamp's gonna work just like a pair of vice grips, but it's got these big face pads here so you don't crush the wood. We don't want the grain crushed. These are the 3-inch clamps I'm using here. Seem like a good size to use for what I'll be using it for. All right, trying to snug it down decently. All right, now I've already cracked my groove because there's no tongue in there, but you won't have a groove anyways. Now what you'll want to do to make it extra strong, oops, if I can refrain from breaking everything today, is put a little bit of glue, a little bit of wood glue right there. Don't gotta go crazy. We're gonna make sure that this is got a nice flush line here. Okay. And even though it may not be completely necessary, I know these boards will want to try to push away from each other just as the screws go in. So I want to clamp that one too. I probably would clamp it right here, but I got the whole stupid groove thing. So that looks good. Now, if you're not sure which size screw you want, you got coarse thread, which is for your softer woods, a finer thread, which is for your harder woods. Okay, now your poplar is a little bit harder than pine, unless someone tells me it's not, and I've really made a mistake. But it's still a softer wood. It's not like oak or something like that. So I got the coarse thread, and right here on the back of the little screw boxes, they'll tell you 3/4 inch material thickness, wants an 1 1/4 screw. So there we go. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. That's right. All right. I'm sure that'll get easier with practice, knowing exactly where it's fitting. Except for ignoring this broken groove here. Look at that. That is square, straight, solid, and when that glue dries, it's not going anywhere. Okay, if you want to finish this off even nicer, like if it's a cabinet door, and you don't want to open it up and see these big slots, not that they're terrible looking, but they make the little wooden fills there for them. Just kind of show you there. Okay, there you go. Put a little glue in there, you know, press it down in there, maybe keep it clamped so the glue can dry, and then sand it flush, and you'll have no holes at all. Okay, so there you go. This is my first time using a pocket hole jig, and I was very impressed. It seemed very natural, very professionally built. Very happy with it. I mean, it's not a cheap equipment. But it's not super expensive at the same time. So I think you get what you pay for on this one here. Very happy with all the stuff, and kind of excited what I'm able to build with it. I'll have a lot of videos here in the future of me using this, because I got a kitchen remodel coming and then a laundry room remodel coming eventually. It's all coming. So thanks again for watching. Please share this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please check out our website, and there's another video for you to check out as well. Thanks again.